Hey, this is the Yulbro Aliexpress aftermarket stereo for the 2013 to 2016 Hyundai Genesis Coupe. I believe you can do it with the 2.0. This is a 3.8 liter, the GT. And this is not the stock dashboard. I installed this. I'll get the names and the links and the descriptions and all that. But you can trick this thing out pretty well. And actually, you can get those steering wheel controls to work, and you can get the AC. The AC will not read Fahrenheit. That's a special note, and I'll show you why. The reason why it doesn't work, let's go into settings. You go into factory, passcode 123456. And we go select our car model. This is our Canbus. The Canbus is the little black box that translates steering wheel controls, and it translates what's going on down from the AC unit right here. These controls. And just reprocessing the digital signals. For this CAN box that is attached to this, if you notice, there's a Hyundai Kia, but this is Rohin's Coupe. That means this is the Korean Coupe. They don't use Fahrenheit in Korea, son. So there is no USA Hyundai Genesis Coupe. That's why this thing is such a bitch to work with, because you can set Fahrenheit in the settings all day long. Hey, translate this for me. But this CAN box isn't programmed for a Hyundai Genesis Coupe USA. It's programmed for Korea. So that's what makes this thing horrible. And when this thing shows up, all of these say null, 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 null. You have to go find your CAN box, select your manufacturer. The closest thing I found was the Rohin Coupes, and I chose 2012, even though mine's a 2013. I had an amplifier, the stock amplifier in this unit with stock nav, and so you would select the 2012 high. But that comes with caveats, because when you start messing with the EQ and stuff, your volume knob right here would work, but your volume on your controls wouldn't work. And so there was always give and take, give and take. So, I don't know if you can see this. Let me turn on some lights. I ripped the entire rear end out. I took the back seats out and everything. I took all speakers out. I took out all of the panels, door panels, back panels, you name it, those panels. I took out all panels. I put a 4-channel amp in, a sub, and you can check my my other video on how to properly wire a 4-channel amp. No stock wires. Do your own. And there is a way to do it. I cut myself. It was bad. But yeah, there's a way to do it. And it's got links and all. I can put all the equipment I used. But yeah, for like the cutouts and stuff for the 8, it can be done. I had a neighbor that's a woodworker, and he helped do that. I don't know if there's some drop-in inserts for the 8. I can search online and link in the description and throw out like an Amazon affiliate link if I can find that for y'all. But anyways, I can go back to the install on this. There's another dude that has got an install video on this, but he doesn't go through how to program the AC. So whenever you're on this screen, before you leave this screen, you have to hit off and auto the same time and hold it for 4 seconds. It will then pop up this. If you do not see it say low and you just see numbers, hit it again and hold it for 4 seconds, both buttons, and then you'll be able to see the Celsius move up and down. That's the only way to do that. It's a little bit tricky how this unit works, because like I said, again, this is not programmed for a United States car. This is a Korean car that, I mean, these are Korean cars, but they're, you know, we've got the United States model for the computers. So there's a little give and take with this unit. It is pretty badass. Once you get rid of the stock launcher, Because that's all this is. This is like an Android tablet, but it's been customized. It's been highly customized, where if it came with Android 13, you stuck on Android 13 because they're not going to release another firmware update. But it's cool because actually the miles per hour, even though we're not moving, it said 1 mile per hour, that does work. And it's got all kinds of cool shit you can do. Like, I'll turn down so we don't get dinged on. I installed my own media player, a double twist. That's badass. But we'll get some stuff going. You like, boom. You want some cool what? Boom. You want some of that cool shit going on in the background? Yeah, you can do that. And yeah, you got Waze, you got your Bluetooth. Like, you can actually cast videos from your phone to the YouTube app on here, because it's a full-blown tablet. It's a little bit tricky. There's some software. I mean, really, I got the 8 gig, 8 core, 128 gig storage. You just sign into YouTube with your YouTube account. I would highly recommend that you use a different login account. Make up a new Gmail account just for this stereo, and put a separate credit card on it just for this, because it came from China. And, well, I don't know if you can 100% trust the data it's sending back. Oh, and this thing, yeah, it can take a SIM card. I ran mine down here, and yeah, that 100% works. I just have data on the SIM card, and yeah, boom, slide this down. Yeah, you can do your data, Wi-Fi, all that. It's got settings just like an Android tablet, but kind of trimmed down a bit. I mean, it's got a lot of stuff. Like your Google Voice Assistant, that works. I got all my steering wheel controls working, but that's because I went the route to where I installed my own amplifiers. So if you're going to reuse your stock stuff, it'll work. But man, it is tricky, because there is hold on, let me go into apps. Now, whenever I said you don't get this launcher whenever you first purchase the app. You get some crappy ass launcher, but you can just download and install one. I'll have to find out what the name of this one is and link it in the description. I don't know if there's affiliate links or not, who knows. But anyways, it comes with this Equalizer app, and this is like the basic Equalizer app that comes with your car. It's actually all right, but it's tricky, because if you start messing around, monkeying with any of the settings, all the bass enhancements, this and that, if you don't have aftermarket amps, this thing gets wonky really quickly. You know, it gets really, really screwy. But you've got all different things. Oh, and let me tell you about this. This thing only comes with one single RCA cable out for a sub. Okay, so you gotta get a splitter that goes on your amp. I'll show you those. And then it has two RCA outs, not a left and a right. It's just, or a front and a back. It's just one pair. It's called aux out. There's an aux in that gets confusing. Don't worry about the aux in cables. That's only if you were gonna run an aux cable from down here, like you wanted to plug in an old school iPhone to it, or iPod, whatever you call them, and run it up there to where you could have an aux in. You can just completely ignore those. You can put in the backup camera. Mine came with one. I'm not going to do it because I'm not taking my bumper off. And on top of that, you should know how to drive this car so well that it's small enough to where you just turn your head around. You don't need a backup camera. And let's see. Yeah, so the 4-channel amp, it had to have two splitters, and I'll get back there and show you that. All right. So what I had to do is get two male connectors to a female connector. Same with this for the 4-channel amp. So you got to get two sets of two males to one female, two males to one female. Same with the subwoofer, because you only get one RCA cable. It's so stupid. So yeah, you take the same connector, so you'd have to buy 3 of them. I can link them in the description. Probably an Amazon affiliate link too. So it doesn't cost you anything. It just gives me some kickback, whatever. So, if that. So yeah, you have to get the 2 males to the female for all of it. It's so ridiculous. And getting this thing out, that was a challenge. Putting it back in, quite a bit of a challenge. But while you're back here, like I said, I've taken everything out. I took the seat belts down. I took everything out completely. And you can totally do it. If you're interested in seeing all that, man, I really don't want to take that all apart again. But if you're interested in seeing that, I totally could. But I think there's probably other videos on how to take that apart. So you can find those. It can work. It's pretty cool when you get it working. There's some caveats, there's some give and take on what all it will do. I really wish it would display Fahrenheit. It does not display outside temperature. I have not found anything to display outside temperature. So outside temperature and Fahrenheit for the AC. Can't figure that one out. And if you stay with your stock amp, you're going to be fighting that steering wheel control versus your normal volume control. Oh, and pro tip, whenever you kill the battery to install this thing, always kill the battery before you install any stereo equipment. You'll have to push this button, the volume button in. That's what turns your stereo back on. And actually, these buttons all do different sound effects and things. So if you start monkeying around with, you only want to mess with those if you're messing with your stock amplifier, because that like turns on a loud and a different loud, or switches over to pop, not pop. You know, the media button, the AM FM button, and the XM button, they all do different things, but they do not display on screen. And that's where the Equalizer app gets all wonky, because you turn on loud. Oh, maybe loud doesn't work. So you have to come down here and push different buttons, but they don't display on the screen because, like I said earlier, we have to select a Rohan Coupe, not a USA Genesis Coupe. So, anyways, I'll throw some links in the description. I hope that helps some people out. The install is pretty straightforward on this. It basically is plug into the wire harness. You use the aux out for going to your aftermarket amplifiers. They'll already have they'll have an aux in, aux out taped together. That's if you keep your stock amplifier. If you replace your stock amplifier with aftermarket, you will cut the little tape that's connecting the RCAs that they send. It'll be prepackaged like that from this company only. Everyone else, they're a total mess. This one actually has a cooling fan for the CPU GPU for the unit, so you want to stick with the seller that I'm going to link in the description. That's the big trick, is how to get things to work. It's ridiculously complicated. They should have put out the correct amount of RCAs, but they don't, and there's nobody that makes one of these units online that has the correct amount of RCAs. And that's the bane of the existence of the Genesis Coupe in the USA, is good luck with your aftermarket stereo, because there's not very many options. But this one's pretty fucking dope if you do aftermarket amps. It's alright with the factory amp, but really fucking dope if you do your others with aftermarket amps. This is the Aliexpress head unit. This one just replaces everything, and it's really cool looking. Like, you can do so much with this thing, it's awesome. However, the wiring, this is where it gets you. You're gonna have what they call an aux in that's just left and right, and it goes into this head unit. Well, these, well, not those. Anyways, let's see. Regular amplifier. So instead of using the aux in, your amplifier is going to go, this is going to be a 4-channel amp, so you've got to use some adapters, and I'll list these adapters in the description as low Amazon affiliate links. You've only got left and right, but you've got a 4-channel amp. What do? You're going to have to do some rigging, and I'll show you. Then, your subwoofer, once again, oh, why don't I have 2 subwoofers out? Because this is China. But we've got an adapter, like in the description as well, that's going to go on the 4-channel amp and the subwoofer amp. The CAN box that controls your steering wheel and your AC readout for this display, this firmware only has the Korean Rohan Genesis Coupe. It doesn't have United States Genesis Coupe. So there's some give and take, and it's strange, but you do an aftermarket head unit, you do the aftermarket amplifier, and it's going to be great. One last thing I wanted to film, I don't know if I had done it in another video or not, but for those aftermarket amps, you're going to want to use this for your remote wire. You'll have to buy 225 amps, and I'll see if I can link this. I got this at AutoZone. There's an open, let's see, there's an open fuse. Let's see, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That one is just blank. Sorry, I've got a headlamp on. Oh, there we go. Yeah, the 5th one down, 2nd row, that's just blank. And that's where this bad boy just plugs into. Sorry about the lighting, headlamp and all. So, yeah. That's how you do your remote power on, power off. The blue wire, the remote on. That's how you do it. Super simple. And you can check out my other video on how to actually get, oh look, you can get all the aftermarket stereo wires through the grommet. You can get it through the grommet. Check out my other video. Alright, cool. Later.